Our next speaker is a combination of remote and local. I'll let you switch it. As I've mentioned before, the maintenance quality system is being rebuilt thanks to support from the Jockey Club. And Mackenzie Rockefeller, who you've seen here, is the one who has been doing the work with Chase Webb, who's been managing the project from the Jockey Club side of it. And Mackenzie's been handling it from the Racing Surfaces Testing Laboratory side. So I'll pass it off to her.
All right. Chase, if you want to go ahead and start your presentation, and then afterwards, if we have any questions or if I need to add any comments, then I will do that then. So you can go ahead and start.
Absolutely. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect. Okay, guys, I'm Chase Webb. I'm the Software Development Manager at the Jockey Club Technology Services. And like Mick and Mackenzie had mentioned, we've all been kind of working closely together on the maintenance quality system. So just wanted to take you guys through, give you just a quick overview of kind of the goals of the system and what the system looks like. And then, of course, wrap up with any questions. So the maintenance quality system is a web-based system accessible from your computer, your mobile devices. It's obviously first and foremost, security is paramount for us. So we do have individual user accounts that users use to log on to the system. The idea here is that we want the system to be easy to use, secure, and basically pave the way for new opportunities to kind of leverage this data that we can collect from the racetracks. So as you can see from some of these screenshots, it's really designed with modern web standards in mind. We want a user that logs in to use this application to see this application just like any other modern web app they may use, their email, their to-do list, things like that. We want it to be easy and quick to use and really give them easy access to the information that they need to either enter or review in the system. The system is really focused around accepting both automated data feeds for facilities that have that capability, and then also for allowing quick and easy data entry for facilities that may need to enter that data or don't have the automated system in place. So we do provide data entry screens for things like track maintenance, cushion measurements, moisture and going stick, things like that the racetrack may be entering. We really want to make sure that we stay engaged with users to accept their feedback. We want to make sure the system is structured in a way that makes it easy to use and convenient to use for those users that are in the field that would be entering information on a regular basis. Really, the key that we want to push with the system is repeated, reliable measurements. Those are key to get those measurements from the racetracks and basically to build the database for future analysis and reporting purposes. As we know, different racetracks, different parts of the country kind of speak different languages. They may call different types of equipment by different names. So we have designed the system to really kind of speak the language of the users. It accounts for different technology that may be in place at different places. That terminology that they're going to use is going to differ. So the system is set up to be configured so that we can call one piece of equipment one thing at one track and something else at another track. The entire system is database driven and is based on configuration. And that really allows us to do some rapid development and iteration as needed. As you can imagine, with a system like this in the field, there's a lot of users, and that means there's a lot of ideas for enhancements and additional functionality. We want to make sure that we're positioned well to roll out new features and basically to make the system easier to use as it goes on. Along those lines of helping users and supporting users, of course, the system has help documentation that's built in. There's an ability for administrators of the system to post documents, answer questions, things like that, to make sure that users in the field have easy access to make sure that their input is standardized and follows the same input that we would get any track around. So of course, We've focused a lot on data collection, but that data doesn't have any value if you don't have the ability to report and analyze it. So we do provide several ways that we output data. Of course, we have your tabular reports. We've got a collection of charts and graphs to communicate the data back out. And then, of course, data exports, CSV, Excel, things like that, such that the data is never locked into the system and unable to get it back out. We want to make sure that data is easy to report on, easy to export, and do any kind of analysis that's needed. So overall, three main ideas here. We want to develop these methods over time so that when that data is available for decision making, we want to facilitate those electronic records. We want to make sure that best practices are followed, support users all along that path such that they can get the data input, follow the standard methods for making sure that's completed, and really focus on expanding the MQS to other tracks, increasing that data quality. So that's just a quick preview of the system that we have in development and rolling out now. Really like the opportunity to show that to you guys. Are there any questions?
Are there any questions for Chase and I? Here, I'll let you talk into this so that Chase can hear you as well. Here, okay.
It's really not a question, just more of I guess, an assumption that reading the tea leaves and thinking about, as far as two racetracks that we operate, it's safe to assume that each track that participates is going to need a facilitator or I guess it would be an MQS specialist or officer at each track, because my track superintendents have enough hats to wear, and why they can certainly help, but it's going to take coordination and someone that, I don't have anyone in the racing office that can necessarily drop what they're doing and go out at, in the middle of entries when we're taking the draw, doing the draw, and be able to go behind the blade or in the middle of the night, if we're going out and doing work, being that both of our racetracks are nighttime signals. So that was really that's what I'm looking at and planning a budget for next year. It looks like that's at least one head count that we're going to have to add to do it the right way.
I think you're right. And I think there's an opportunity for that if you can utilize that. The other opportunity that I think there is to build skills in the team, on the maintenance team. And for me, the ideal person to do that is to bring somebody new in, could even be an intern or a high school student, build those skills. So when your superintendent gets older, gets a new job, falls, breaks their leg, whatever, you've got somebody else, because in the best case, the MQS data is a second person paying attention. We've got a huge problem in this industry with cultivating the next generation. And this to me is something where it doesn't look like just a tractor driver. They can drive a tractor. You've got them during the races, but they can also make the measurements before the races, get out on a tractor, and then come back. And the other part of this same job at some of the bigger tracks, and it very much depends on it, is if you're in an organization that requires capital budgeting and planning, if you're having, and I think everybody's facing the situation where there's so much more accountability in purchasing, there's something that doesn't mean that person isn't driving a tractor, but they're also doing the MQS, they're doing the capital budgeting, they're tracking maintenance on the tractors and dealing with your dealer on that. So it takes a rethinking these jobs, because it doesn't look completely like a traditional maintenance crew member, but it requires somebody who cares and somebody who's willing to get their shoes, some dirt on their shoes. And yeah, so.
Do we have any other questions in the audience? Okay. Well, thank you, Chase.
Thanks, everyone.